Today we are talking about basics of Age of Empires 4, so in this video I'm gonna walk you through the 5 most fundamental basics you should know when you are trying to play on ladder or when you are generally trying to play multiplayer. After watching you will have a grasp on how to get properly started. By the way, I am Alibi, currently holding the highest achievable rank in a game and on a regular basis playing against one of the best in the world. We will kick things off with economy. At the start of each game, you will get a town center and 6 villagers right next to it. What is a villager? Villager is a unit that can gather and then drop off resources at a nearby drop-off points that you will eventually get into your bank and you can use them whenever you like. Where can you produce these villagers? Inside of your town center, at a rate of 1 villager every 20 seconds at a cost of 50 food. What resources can villager gather? We have 4 main types: food, wood, stone and gold. You will use food mainly to produce units, wood mainly to produce buildings, stone to produce defenses and gold to make upgrades and premium units. Usually, unit will cost combination of these resources, like archer. It costs food and wood, so you want as many resources as it is possible, so you want as many villagers as it is possible, and the question is, how many is enough? The rule of thumb in Age of Empires 4 is gonna be don't stop the production out of your main town center until you will have at least 100. Also, at the start of each game, you will see right next to your town center a fresh batch of sheep. These sheep can be harvested for food and you should definitely do so. They are one of few food sources out on a map. We have sheep, deer, boar and berries. Also there are farms, but farms are an investment. You need to build them and pay for them. Each one is gonna cost you 75 wood, but will provide food until the end of the game. Just watch out for some of these food sources because some of them may try to defend themselves. To see where are all of these resources located, you are gonna use the scout that's right next to your town center at the start of the game also. He can run around the map and search in a fog of war for more sheep or more gold, stone, wood, whatever you need at whatever point you need. When villagers get resources, they then need to drop them off somewhere. They can do it at the town center, but it is gonna be usually a little bit of a walk away from that resource, so we want to minimize the time of them walking. When they are walking, they are after all not gathering. For those reasons, we have drop-off points. Drop-off points are gonna be lumber camp for wood, mining camp for stone and gold, and after all, mills for food. Okay. Now you know how your basic economy works. You should definitely not stop the production out of the town center. You should make the drop-off points right next to the resources that you are assigning your villagers to. And of course, how can we forget, we need to make houses for the population. The population is the amount of units you can have out on a field. Some of them are gonna cause more population than the others, but usually 1 unit, 1 population. 1 house is gonna cost you 50 wood and is gonna provide you 10 population space. You should not make 100 houses at the start of the game because you don't need so. Just make the ones when you need them. Population has a cap of 200. 200 is the most economical plus military units you can have combined in one game as one player. Now we go to technology. In Age of Empires 4 we have 4 ages, and that's gonna be Dark Age, Feudal Age, Castle Age and Imperial Age. Each one of these ages will unlock you different units. You are already gonna be starting each game in a Dark Age. Imagine hitting a next age like a power spike. It's gonna unlock you new units, new technologies, new upgrades to get. For example, each civilization has some kind of a heavy or heavily armored unit in a Castle Age, and if they can get them out and you are still stuck in the Feudal Age, you can't really kill them. You are basically gonna be doing no damage for them. For that reason, getting through these ages is gonna be your main power spike. When you get to next age, you get a good new technology, you get good new upgrades, and you get very good new units. There is a catch though. Aging up costs a lot of resources, and if you will try to just hunt for that age up as quickly as possible and your opponent heavily invests into the army and is gonna spot you aging up, he can just go ahead and dive you and kill you. There's nothing you can do, you don't have the army, and you do not get your age up. It's not instant, and the units that will come out, or the new units that you will be producing, are also not instant. For that reason, you need to make sure that you are safe before you will try to go for the age up. With each age, you will also unlock some economy upgrades. Usually you will find them inside of the mills, lumber camps and mining camps. They are gonna enhance your gather rate from food, stone, gold and wood. The most important out of them all is wheelbarrow. It doesn't seem like that big of a deal, it's just some move speed and some carry capacity. But remember, when villagers are moving, they are not gathering resources, so you want them to move as little as it is humanly possible, and them moving faster means they are moving less. In each age you also unlock new upgrades for your army, and those are mainly gonna be blacksmith and veteran upgrades. Blacksmith upgrades are for all of your units, even for the villagers. They usually buff only one stat, like melee damage, ranged armor, melee armor, or ranged damage. On the other hand, veteran upgrades you can be researched only in a specific production building the unit is made from and affect only that one unit. But they enhance it greatly. They enhance every single one of the stats of the unit, and those are the most important to get when you age up. And finally, the Imperial Age upgrades. They are gonna be the best one out of them all. Not only you are getting new blacksmith and veteran upgrades like in each age, but you are getting mainly university upgrades. University upgrades can be researched inside of the university and are the biggest modifiers, like bonus HP or bonus damage or bonus range on archers. It ranges from one unit to another, but they are very expensive, but they are very good. Let's continue with landmarks. Landmarks are buildings that you can construct in order to age up. You get presented with one out of two of them, and each one is gonna give you different buffs or different bonuses or will act differently. Some of them are gonna be just a massive and very good keep, others are gonna be just a fast production building, or other ones are gonna be an economical buff, like boosting your villagers' movement speed. Now, which landmark to choose? The one that's gonna protect your base until the end of the game, or the one that's gonna make berries until the end of the game? And it's probably not what you think. Pro players are usually going for the economy landmarks because they are boosting your military and your technology at the same time. Then, on the second spot, we will see some military landmarks, or landmarks that can either produce units or have some specific technologies inside of them that can boost units. And on the last place are gonna be defensive landmarks. They are just gonna defend your base. Keep in mind, this is massive generalization. The landmark you are going for usually is gonna depend on the strategy you want to pull off and the situations you are at the moment in. Let me give you an example. You are English and you are aging up to the feudal age. You get to choose one out of two landmarks, Council Hall or Abbey of Kings. Now, which one will you choose? Council Hall acts as a production building that's gonna be producing archers at 2 times the speed. On the other hand, Abbey of Kings is gonna give you one free unit, a king, and can heal nearby units. Well, if you are trying to do something like kill your opponent very quickly, you will go for Council Hall in order to pump out as many archers or longbows as quickly as it is humanly possible. On the other hand, if you are trying to go for more of an economy approach and make more town centers in the feudal age, so you are making more villagers and getting more resources, you will need to go for Abbey of Kings. You cannot afford to make longbows early on, so you are gonna go for the free unit that is provided with Abbey of Kings and have at least something when the opponent comes in the early feudal age. Choose your landmarks wisely, otherwise they are not gonna give you the real value or not help your strategy at all, and then... When it comes to your army, we have kinda a rock, paper and scissors relationship, especially in the feudal age. You will have 3 main types of units: archer, spearman and horseman. And we have a unit triangle. Archer will be countering a spearman, spearman will be countering a horseman, and horseman will be countering an archer. Every single civilization has some type of a special unit that allows them to counter 2 out of the 3 units in this triangle at the same time. Well, we don't really have time to talk about all the special units, and for that reason we will move on. This is everything you need to know to get started. This triangle is everything for you in the feudal age. The castle age gets a little bit more complicated with heavy and light units, because in castle there is an arrival of very heavily armored units. They will have heavy in their description. Now, what will counter them? Because your feudal age army will definitely not, and if your units do not have bonus damage against them, they will just tickle. For that reason, we have bonus damage, and the bonus damage against heavy units have, let's say, crossbows. Crossbows are a very good unit that counters everything that has in their description heavy. If you see infantry, if you see horses, if you see archers, anything that has in their description heavy, crossbows will deal bonus damage against them because they have bonus against heavy. And this applies to most of the units. Some units in AoE have bonus damage against light units, others have specific bonus damage against cavalry, others against elephant, others against light gunpowder units. Every single unit in Age of Empires 4 have some type of a bonus damage. If you want to know them in detail, read the descriptions, but generally know the triangle: archers counter infantry, infantry counters cavalry, cavalry counters archers. And what unit composition you will go depends entirely on you and your strategy. For example, you can go mass archers and add some spears to cover their weakness against horsemen, or you can go for mass knights and then add a little bit of the archers here and there to deal with some of the spears that your opponent will be making to counter the mass knight that you are doing. For these reasons, the compositions are as good as your imagination. If you want, you can go triple composition and make everything, make horseman, archer and spearman, or you are gonna go all in on one thing, just knights, and trying to kill your opponent with one big attack. It depends on you.
But Mali, how am I supposed to kill buildings? Am I supposed to torch them down with a unit?
No, we will have Siege Workshop for that in the Castle Age. In Castle Age you unlock new production building along the already existing ones, and this one will allow you to produce some siege weapons. Out of them you will have 2 that generally completely obliterate buildings. Those are going to be battering rams and trebuchets. Next to them you will be able to construct mangonels. They are very good against ranged units, and next to them you will be able to construct also springalds. And springalds are awesome against infantry or melee infantry. Any type of a melee infantry, springalds obliterates. Alright, now you know how to set up your economy, you also have your upgrades, and we have our army, but how are we gonna win a game? Win conditions. There are 3 win conditions in this game, and those are gonna be Secret Site Victory, Landmark Victory, and Wonder Victory. The one that you are gonna be most familiar and the one that's gonna be in the most games is gonna be a Landmark Victory. For that you need to kill every single landmark that your opponent has, aka the buildings that they are aging up with. By the way, also Town Center acts as a landmark too, so you will need to kill the main Town Center as well. Secret Site Victory, on the other hand, is a little bit more rare, but still achievable. In the Castle Age you will have an option to build a monastery. Out of the monastery you can get monks. Monks can collect relics that generate resources, and at the same time they can heal units. But their other function is to capture secret sites. Secret sites are these points on the map that if you capture them you get gold, and if you capture all of them you are gonna be given a timer. If you defend all of the secret sites till this timer is up, you win a game. Timer is 10 minutes, and usually there is around 3 secret sites on the map, but there are some maps where is only 1, and usually that's the way how people win. And last but not least, Wonder Victory, something that I personally have not seen in at least the last 500 or 600 hours of me 1v1ing on a ladder. This is a very specific win condition. First of all, you need to get into the Imperial Age. Most of your games are not going to be getting into Imperial Age. After that, you need to collect a huge sum of resources. Most of the games will end before that. And when you have this huge sum of resources, you need to build this very specific building that takes very long to build and defend it for 15 minutes. Then you win on Wonder Victory. You need to basically build a wonder. The problem with it is that if you are building a wonder, your opponent is spending those resources on his army, so you know, it gets a little bit harder to defend it when you have so much less army, but still achievable in some games. You can do it if they are very big stalemate. Wonder Victory is still on the table. This is everything you need to know. These are the most basics of the basics. I did not speak about specific matchups or specific civilizations or anything in that sense. No. I do not want you to think or do anything about it. This is basic. Now just pick a civilization and go to play quick match or go to play custom game against AI. Which civilization to pick, that's which one you like, but if you want my recommendation, it's gonna be either English, French or Holy Roman Empire. Those are the three basic Pokemons of Age of Empires, aka the three most basic ones and three that are as close to this gameplay as I told you. Some other civilizations are gonna be way harder to play, so don't pick something like a China or Byzantine, otherwise you will struggle. But Play whatever you like. It is a game after all, it's supposed to make you fun. At the same time, I hope that you enjoyed this video and had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun making it. And gentlemen, there are some buttons you can press if you liked it. There are some buttons you can press if you didn't like it. Tell me in the comments. For the people that usually already have a few thousand hours in a game, you can tell me in the comments what I forgot. It was definitely a lot of stuff. And there are gonna be some specific videos out of me for build orders and for other stuff coming out soon or coming out as well. So in the meantime, good luck and fun, and for now, bye bye.